Go hard, but
I like those Air Maxes.
I appreciate it. Shit, this has been through the mud, bro. Probably had this since like high school and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, nah,
Classics though.
Yeah, classics for sure. Well, shit. What's your day-to-day life like? Just on a regular daily basis.
Oh, we already started?
Yeah, I mean, I just already started. I mean, I don't really do an intro like that. We just chop it up.
Yeah, we just start. Yeah. I mean, bro, like I guess my day-to-day really depends on, what my, specific goal for that season is.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And that season could be like that month, that week, that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like today, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like I had, woke up this morning, went to, Bellevue, had a meeting with this guy that's, building about like $40 million of real estate.
Yeah.
And, talking to him about, how he can potentially, sell each of those units before they're fully built. So just having that conversation and, going to the site with him, checking it out. And then, I'm out here and, doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And then, afterward, I'm going home, eat, stretch. I'm about to, go play basketball. I'm part of a league.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, call it a day.
Gotcha.
That's like a typical day, but
Gotcha.
it could depend on, what it is. But like to take it back, right? Like my mission statement is to integrate real estate investing with culture, music, and technology to inspire positive change in the community. So I kind of, think of my life within 3 verticals, which is, real estate to, feed myself and, music to express myself and build my brand and, just do me. Yeah. And then, however I can to give back to the community. Gotcha. So, like, if I just look at, all the activities that are thrown at me or the opportunities that are thrown at me, and I like assess it through my mission statement, like, if it makes sense within that framework, I just, take it on in my day and, take it on in my life. Like, you hitting me up about this podcast, boom, this is like an opportunity to, share my story, opportunity to, like check out, what you're building and what your platform is. And, for us to, maintain and build a connection. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's within my mission statement. Gotcha. And just like, this meeting earlier this morning was like meeting with the builder and, you know what I mean? Real estate. Yeah. Also within the mission statement. So, yeah, bro. You know what I mean? It's just, it really depends. If I'm like in a very like musical season in my life, completely different day to day.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
So right now, finishing up the year, I guess like, what are your goals so far for this quarter? I guess.
Just like to wrap up the year.
Just wrap up the year. Yeah.
Shit, man, it's been a pretty good year. I started off like already like like traveling, so I was like back home in the motherland, and I'm doing a bunch of stuff there too. Gotcha. And then came back, had a great year. As far as like business wise within my specific like real estate servicing business. Yeah. And like musically, I put out a couple songs, but like my goal coming into 2024 actually is to start putting out a lot more music, which I've already made. It's a matter of now packaging it and what I mean, putting it out. Yeah. But to answer your question, like, to wrap up the year, there's, a bunch of like business goals I have, but musically I'm trying to, drop this one song, and I have this like, gotcha. Like marketing element that I've planned for it, that I'm working on, and, it's like right in time for the holidays. Gotcha.
So you said you're in real estate, you're an entrepreneur, and you're an artist. Yeah. Right? And in other forms too, you said you also give back to the community.
Well, as best as I can. I'm not yeah.
But what would you say, like, how are you able to accomplish all those within either a day or a week? Because I feel like a lot of people would be overwhelmed with doing so many things or so many tasks. So on a day-to-day basis, like, I know we did kind of cover about what you do. Yeah. But I guess, like, how are you, like, mentally? Are you like a person who like mentally makes notes? Or are you a person who write down the notes, your schedules, or like, what's that like?
Yeah, no, but like, so like the way you asked the question, how do you do that in like a day or a week? You know what I mean? It's not a day or a week type of thing.
Gotcha.
I think just, having the mentality that this is something you're in it for life, and you're going to continually keep, like making progress towards like these goals, kind of gives you the perspective to just do it daily and be consistent.
Gotcha.
And then when you stay consistent, over a course of like, some weeks, months, years, like then you start, looking around the world you created for yourself, and you're like, oh shit, like I have this opportunity now that I didn't previously. And as long as you could be like conscious of where you were, like before you began the consistency, then it becomes more familiar and recognizable. I don't know if that answers your question, but honestly, bro, you just gotta love what you do. You feel me? And as long as you love what you do, then the actions required to do what you love become tolerable.
Got you.
You feel me?
Yeah, no, for sure. And you also said you went to college. You went that route,
right?
And so I feel like a lot of people that are in college might not even know what to do, when they're in it. But so my question to you is, when you went to school, and you said you also did end up going to like the corporate route and all that.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, did you think you already knew, like, going into college, you knew what you were going to do, your plan, all this, or was it kind of like, oh, I'm going to just figure it out?
Man, it's interesting because, so I actually was born in the motherland, you feel me? So I was born in a city called Nagarkoil, which is like in the very, very, like, like southern tip of India, and, lived in a city called Chennai until I was like 8 years old. And, Pops moved out to the United States first for like a year and a half, saved up a little bit of money, brought the rest of the family over. And, I have a younger brother. So it's like, coming to America was always this, like this promised land type of thing. And, there was all like early dreams that, my father had about like, like starting a business here and like land of opportunity. And, like it's probably how, a lot of us, came here, right?
Yeah.
And, I think, but then after coming to this country and like really experiencing the reality of what it is, to be out here and, how difficult it is to, make it, I got to kind of experience firsthand that it's like this whole, getting a job and like, going down that route is just not the path for fulfillment, and I saw it firsthand through my folks. And, so for me, it was always this, like, I always had this mentality of like, all right, I want to get into business somehow. And that's something that I just always knew from the jump, like from when I was a kid, mainly because my dad always wanted to get into business. You know what I mean? He never had like he got into business later on in life, but he didn't have the opportunity to like, when he was like really passionate about it. You feel me?
No, I got you.
So I got to kind of experience that as a child. And, but there was no like direct guidance for me to become an entrepreneur.
No.
So when I went to, when I got into college, I got into UW, when I went there, I actually Googled like my first year, like what major is going to pay me the most money. And it was all like in the engineering field, right? And like, like I was always good at math and, decided to apply for the electrical engineering major at UW and I got into it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do this. And I kind of just like, thugged it out and went all 4 years and, finished the degree. And, my plan always was, all right, I'm going to get this, I'm going to finish this degree, like, get myself a job, pay off this loan, and then, save up some money and then launch my business. Like, I was just in that zone. I always knew that's what I wanted to do. And then I actually, like, went through with that plan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got an internship at Vulcan, you know what I mean? Like, after I graduated, I worked at various different companies like Microsoft and Accenture, and then by the time I paid off my loans and saved up a little bit of money, like I was in this like point where I was like asking myself like, hey, you said you're gonna do this business thing at this point, and like now you're in a situation where you're comfortable because you have this income, but you're also like you have these golden handcuffs on you, that like really allows you from living life. And for me, I always had a lot of passion to make music and like inspire the culture or like, influence the culture or impact, positively, people as best as I can. So I always had these aspirations and I felt very limited being in that world, being able to do that. And at that time, when I got to this point of, paying off my loans, having, a little bit of capital saved up for myself and having the skill set that I know that I can always go back to the corporate world if I needed to. why not just try something now?
Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, you need like a thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, like, all through college, I tried selling, like, various different things. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like and then it wasn't really like something that like worked out to a point where I could live off of. You know what I mean? But yeah, like around during the time I was like about to leave the corporate world, I was reading a lot of books about like successful entrepreneurs and this, that, and the third. And one common theme that I saw with a bunch of people was real estate, and how it's kind of like this like ultimate like wealth building tool, and there's all these like possibilities with it. And at first I thought it was all like ooh, and it's like oh, it's not real. It just seems like like a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the more I dug into it, the more interested I became in it. And then around the time I was like deciding to leave the corporate world, I was like thinking, all right, entrepreneurship is like launching or creating some sort of product or service that people can pay me for, and what can I do? And then it just hit me like real estate is the biggest product, and I don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, that's fair.
You feel me? Like people there's buyers, there's sellers, there's people that rent, and all the operations, everything is set up. I just need to figure out my place in this world that already exists. And it just hit me like I'm in these places like Microsoft and T-Mobile, and I'm understanding how their corporate structure is working, and I'm contributing there. So if I can take that same perspective and apply it
somewhere
to this new world, like maybe there's opportunity to be made. And yeah, so that's what like kind of initially like drew me towards that direction. And yeah, I just started and I just stuck with it.
Got you.
Yeah.
And so what age did you come to America?
I was 8 years old. Yeah.
8 years old. So by the time you moved here, did you have I guess how big was the culture shock for you, or was there any culture shock when you first came here?
Yeah, I mean it was a big culture shock for sure. I think it's a completely different culture back home.
Yeah.
But we do have like Cartoon Network and a lot of the shows and all that. So I was watching that even as a child. So there was this kind of like it was kind of like a fantasy land really, like before you come over here, because it's like this promised land. But then after coming over here and like recognizing that like there's this like huge disparity between like being an immigrant and being from here, and then also like finding your specific like group and community within your immigrant base, and how important that is, and not having that growing up. You know what I'm saying? And then like just navigating through school, like feeling like I'm American at school, but then like I come home and I'm like this completely different energy. It's almost like living a double life, that I'm sure a lot of immigrants can feel. But yeah, no, I think navigating through that was probably similar to a lot of immigrant stories that that like we've heard about in Seattle. But yeah, bro, but I also think that's what makes me resilient in my endeavors as I move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to experience a lot of it, and also I think it makes me more empathetic to folks, because I got to experience my parents' perspective on how they dealt with this country. At the same time, I can also empathize with the other guy dealing with my parents. You feel me?
You see both sides of the.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel like that's a great like tool or just skill to have, to be able to be like, all right, let's weigh the options and see from both perspectives, and just being able to see the game. And I can already see just from the way you're explaining things. Yeah. You can already tell, like just with the corporate, seeing how they work their things, and you're like, okay, how could I apply it here? And
exactly.
I feel like that's a key. And for life or anything, honestly, to be honest.
Yeah. What about you? Are you born here?
So I was born out here. My mom was from Japan. Okay. My pops, so their side came out here like before World War II type shit. Okay. But then I feel like it's a crazy story.
Your pops is also Japanese?
Yeah, he's Japanese.
Okay, so you're Japanese.
So I'm Japanese, but it's like I got my mom's from Japan. But my dad's side, there's already been like 4 generations. Wow. The 5th generation, so it's like, am I, I definitely feel what you're saying. You got a middle ground and you got 2 different lives and shit. So.
Right.
that I feel like a lot of people will relate, at least even in Kent, because
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
So,
Even within my specific community, which is Tamil, by the way. So I'm Tamil. That's like my ethnic community.
Gotcha.
And my people are from, like southern India, northern Sri Lanka, and we're our own like ethnic group, like language group, like culture. If you actually Google, right, the oldest spoken language in the world, the result of that is Tamil.
Really?
Yeah, so it's this ancient language that we take great pride in and protect it. There's more Tamil people in the world than Italians.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it's like it's interesting. No, it's even within some of the diaspora Tamil people, it's kind of like how it is with you. There's they're like second, third generation, not quite far back as like the Japanese, but they're still generations removed, but still intact with the culture, and it's just very inspiring. But yeah, I'm grateful that my parents are like super connected to the land, and I also was born over there and lived there until I was 8. So I have the opportunity to see both worlds. Yeah, and it's a beautiful feeling.
So would you, knowing just like how America is and how it's set up, and you've seen how it is, I guess like, would you want to raise, like, I don't know if you thought about kids and all that, but in the future, like, would you want to raise your kids in America, or would you rather go back to home? Like,
man, that's a interesting question, because like I'm like, it's funny because like I grew up over here, and so I understand the blessings that come with being from here and having the resources and the privilege of being American, and at the same time I've had the opportunity to spend time back home also, and I see the blessings and opportunities and resources there, and then I also see like the difficulties on both sides. You know what I mean? And obviously this is just one part of the world that I've like I've spent time in other parts of the world, but like really in depth where I'm from, right? But and obviously I know America, but I think in an ideal wave of magic wand scenario, I'd like to have my kids spend time in both places. You feel me? Like I want them to understand what it is to be in the Western world, because this is being in the Western world, like it's, at least right now with the geopolitics, right? We're the movers and shakers of how things operate. But at the same time, we like what's like the economics of what's going on back home, and like all that is just everything, and like the culture and all that is like super key. So I wouldn't want them to not have that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and I guess like I do ask that though, because it's like, for me, I'd be thinking, I don't know, sometimes it's like we see how fucked up America be sometimes, so it's just like, I don't know, that's some random shit that I was thinking about.
Have you been back to Japan?
Yeah, like I used to go a lot when I was younger, but it's been just less and less, I guess, as I get older, because less time and the commute and all that stuff.
But, do you speak Japanese?
Kinda.
Okay.
But it was because, so the way I was brought up, learn Japanese, but then you go to school, you lose that shit. I guess that was for me though.
Oh yeah.
And it's like at home it's like broken English. It's like half and half. But my pop speaks perfect English, but my mom's like the one that's trying to work on it. I'm at this point.
Do you speak Japanese with her, or you just talk to her in English and she responds back in Japanese, and you kind of
it's like that. So it's like where I understand more Japanese than English type of thing.
Can you watch Japanese movies and
like anime and shit? Yeah. I could get like keywords and shit.
Oh, that's it. Okay, you can't. What about like in conversation? Can you?
I could hold a conversation that's like as good as a preschooler probably.
Wow.
You type shit. It's not. And I guess like it goes back to that specific like topic of just what is it? Kind of assimilating to the culture of America, and also I guess like you're losing the touch of who you are or who your ancestors were, and that's the reason why I was asking. I guess like. Would you raise your kids out here? Just because it's like, what I noticed is like, after generations and generations, it's like you start losing that. You don't even get to speak the language sometimes, and it's like, what makes you that anymore? That's what I've been.
And it's like, I think the more important question is like, what is that in the first place? You know what I mean? And just like, I think if you have the privilege of being able to choose where you can be in the world, you know, why not pick and choose the best?
That is facts.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, create, you know, like potentially something new, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, no, but wave a magic wand scenario,
Mm-hmm.
like, shit, like I'd love my kids to experience like the whole world as they're growing up.
No,
you feel me?
No, that's facts. I feel like that'd be the best one because you can go different spots.
Yeah.
And just because I feel like that's the best way to just experience and learn.
Yeah.
Just about people.
Yeah.
Because different people act different, like in different areas.
Yeah.
Different mannerisms, different culture, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's talk about music specifically now.
Yeah.
What would you say like inspired you to get into the booth or just hop into a studio?
Man,
Like, was it certain artists you seen growing up?
Yeah, no, I think it's like a multi,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like variable reasoning for why. So being Tamil, right? And like I think my culture itself promotes like, you know, rhyming and poetry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like a very poetic language to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we have a lot of respect for like oration and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our own version of hip hop
Mm-hmm.
music. Like before hip hop became, you know, what it is. Like
in
we
American
have our
time.
own like, you know, version of
I
it.
got you.
You know what I mean? And you know, there's like a lot of music that's made in like a rhythmic way that's like similar to a lot of like melodies that we like hear today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's this natural like instinct towards like hip hop music for me, like right from from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, coming to America, I was like naturally drawn to hip hop, and I feel like I learned, you know, like the language better and understood the culture better and all that through music. And I think just like, you know, every other hip hop head, I grew up with the music to a point where, you know, a lot of this is just like you know, my soundtracks to life.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So, and I think everybody that listens to rap tries to rap. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Everybody, right?
In the car or some shit. Freestyling or something.
And for me, it was always like I was always able to, you know, even in Tamil before I moved to America, right? Like my parents would send me to like, you know, certain like poetry reciting competitions and things like that, and I would be doing that as a kid.
Oh shit!
And you know, I've won like first prize doing things like that as a kid. So maybe I'm not sure if those things planted.
Who knows?
Any sorts of seeds,
yeah.
But then after coming to America and like and seeing rap is a thing, right? And hip hop is a thing, and just like growing up with it, it's this natural fascination, you know, towards it that, you know, that I was drawn to.
Yeah.
And you know, like I always felt like I could like memorize lyrics like hella quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have this like huge database of lyrics in my head, and you know, when I would try rapping, you know what I mean, like I was, you know, better than average. I always felt like, obviously, like I felt like I was like, you know, like shy about it, and I went through my own journey in that regard. But I always enjoyed, you know, the process of listening to music or, you know, singing along or creating my own music. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And you know what I mean, like high school, like lunchroom, you know, freestyles and all that shit. Shit, that shit was fun for me. And you know, that was just that. And then bro, I think just kind of over the years, like there was always this like instinct or desire to want to make music, and I felt like we're living in a time where, you know what I mean, like it's so easy to like, you know, express yourself and actually create the art and package it and refine it and polish it in a way where, you know, you can actually create something you're proud of. And I felt that the passion was just like, you know, too strong for me to not do something about it. And you know, I think that evolved into, you know, like what is continuing to evolve right now.
And so what was your first studio session like? Was it where like you were recording with a homie, or was it you just went straight to like studio?
Technically my first studio session was like with myself, with, you know, like GarageBand.
Oh, so you picked it up and shit?
In my closet, you know, recording. Like there's still like there's like a bunch of stuff in my SoundCloud that I've hidden. But that's like, you know, but yeah, I would say like that's like my technically like my first studio sessions. But the first time I like actually like, you know, paid an engineer and like sat down in a studio was with the homie P White. I don't know if you know him. Oh, you don't know P White, but that guy's a legend. You should tap in. He's from Seattle.
I guess what studio?
Yeah, shout out P White. I'm not sure if he has it called what it used to be back then, but back then it was, you know, Pop Underground Studios. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think
it was like in it was like near South Lake Union, you know, back in the day.
So what year was that then?
That was, bro, that was actually 2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah, so 2016 or 20, I think it was 2016. Yeah, and yeah, that was the first time I like, you know, paid an engineer and, you know, cause until that point I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had this like beat picked out that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a song called 206
Gotcha.
that, you know, I have out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure you
I
guys
released
stream
it.
Yeah, make sure you guys
shout
stream
out,
it.
yeah, stream it. You know, 206 by Vozhi. You know, shout out P White for engineering that track.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that was the first ever, you know, track that I recorded in the studio.
Got you.
Yeah.
And so, from your first studio session to your music video, what was the transition like to your first music video, or just even getting to the network aspect of getting it that down of being an artist?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like I'm you know, I'm grateful to be, you know, Tamil, because I think there's like a diaspora connection that's there, and there's like a community that's there through the, you know, social media aspect of things. I think, you know, through, you know, me being an entrepreneur and me being an artist, I think there's certain, you know, diaspora Tamil people that like pick up on, you know, what I'm doing, and you know, obviously like my journey is unique, especially within the diaspora. You know, just or at least the combination of what I'm doing. And you know, there's certain folks that have just, you know, gotten to pick up on that from the beginning. And for me, it was just, I was just in the beginning just expressing myself. I was just doing like Instagram freestyles and you know what I mean, just putting out content. And the people that seemed to consume it most were these like diaspora Tamil folks, as well as like, you know, local, you know, Seattle people. And I just, you know, kept making content, and to a point where, you know, I felt there was some sort of pulse I felt within, you know, both communities, and I've just been kind of, you know, just leveraging that and just letting it, you know, keep going organically. And yeah, you know, I've just, you know, been making music since.
Got you. And who were some artists that you were listening to when you first came to America? And just like, was it through the radio, or was it through like you had an iPod or something?
No, bro, it was like before iPods, bro.
Gotcha.
Like, so I'm talking like you know, CD players.
Oh
type
shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, what CDs were you bumping?
Bro, shit, I was bumping like 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, all like, you know, classic for sure. Like, I'm gonna throw a random one, but it's like a potent one. You know, Linkin Park's like Hybrid Theory. You know,
I don't even know. I just heard a Linkin Park type.
What?
Because the thing is,
yeah, bro, go bump that album. Hybrid
the
Theory.
thing is though, I feel like the reason why was because at that time where a lot of like Linkin Park, Green Day, all that like the band shit was happening, I was living in Hawaii. So I was listening over there, you know, all the reggae shit, all the Islander shit. So it's like when I came back over here, and it's like, it was definitely, I was like, well, I've never heard these songs other than on TVs or like maybe sometimes on radio, but they don't play that shit out there. So I was like,
yeah, no, and then just like I was just fortunate enough to, you know, grow up with some friends that put me on to, you know, some like just dope ass like albums that are now, you know, classics to, you know, like The Reasonable Doubt, like, you know, like Gangstar's like Moment of Truth.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I was like hella into like East Coast hip hop, and you know, obviously, you know, like Tupac, Biggie, like all that. But then, yeah, I was just like just heavily consuming all this stuff like throughout.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, bro, it's, you know, it's, and then it just, you know, and then I started, you know, kind of, you know, like veering off and like listening to other genres, and but hip hop was always had always been like the primary, like, you know, genre that I would always like find myself going back to.
Gotcha. And what would you say is your dream collab? Like lifetime, or maybe it'll happen next year, or whatever. Like, I guess, who are some artists that you want to work with? Who are some producers or anything in the music field that you
Shit, I mean, like dream, like wave a magic wand. I'm like,
yeah,
bro, shit. I mean, Jay-Z, let's do it. You know,
Jay-Z,
like Jay-Z and Vozhi, it has a nice ring to it. You feel me?
Okay,
Yeah,
get that collab going.
Yeah.
Put it into the world right now.
Manifest it. Yeah, put it out there. Shit, and then like in like the Tamil space, there's an artist called Yuvan Shankaraja. You know, I'd love to do a collaboration with him. There's another artist called Anirudh. I'd love to do a collaboration with him. Bro, I mean, shit. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like, but in the Western world, if there's like one artist where I can be like, if I do a collaboration with him and I'm like, I made it, it'd be Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But it's such an audacious like goal.
You never know though,
bro.
You don't know how this world works.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm putting it out there. Shit, I don't doubt it from happening.
No,
you know, but you got at least I'll move with that energy.
Mm-hmm. No,
but you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then you know, it's God's plan.
No, that's facts.
Yeah.
God's timing. At the end of the day, that's facts.
Yeah.
And how are you able to keep your just like mind fit and your body fit outside of just, you know, doing the work, doing what you got to do, hustling, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You say you do hoop.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, you can talk about hooping.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
You hoop?
Yeah, I'll be hooping every once in a while. Type shit. But
that's
like,
what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. So how? What's the team you're playing for? Type shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's just a league out in Mountain Lake Terrace.
Oh, I heard you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's out of this like recreational facility, and you know they just do it like all year round. Like, shit. You know what I mean? Like when the season ends, the next one starts. The next season, you know what I mean? I think it's like 6 to 7 week seasons maybe. Yeah.
Solid though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just, like there's like 7 to 8 guys that are on my squad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like every Wednesday there's a game usually, and yeah, bro, it's just good times. Like, you know, whoever pulls up, you know, You know, usually we try to get at least 5. Obviously, you can't play otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been good, bro. I've always been, you know, ever since I came to America, like the sport that I was drawn to most was basketball. You know, obviously, I think it's just like with hip hop and basketball, it just goes hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and no, like basketball had always been like a passion. I actually played for, you know, my school team like all through middle school, and then high school, like I focused more on academics, but I still played recreationally.
On the side,
like always, and and then once I was at UW, you know, like I was hooping at the IMA as often as I could, and then, you know, afterward it had always been like a consistent part of my life. You know, at least like once or twice a week on average. You know, obviously there'll be like, you know, times where, you know, I wouldn't, like months would go by. But then for the most part, it had been a consistent theme in my life. Got you. Yeah.
You gotta, you know, keep that first love.
Yeah.
When it comes to, at least like, I feel like hooping is, you get to really know like a type of person someone is just based off of hooping too.
Definitely,
you know?
Definitely. Like, yeah, like you think you know somebody and then you play basketball with them, whether you're on the same team or playing on the same team with somebody is like a whole different experience.
No, that's fact. Because it's like, damn, this guy don't pass the ball.
Yeah.
Some shit like that. Or,
yeah. You know, you learn, you know, how much someone can share when you're on the same team. But when you're on like opposite teams, it's like, you know, it's a whole different dynamic too.
That's true.
Yeah. I have a brother who's only, you know, like 2 years younger than me, and he's also a hooper, and it's literally like the perfect like one-on-one competition growing up. So, you know, we love playing one-on-one with each other, and it's always like neck and neck. Sometimes I'll win, sometimes he wins, you know, type of thing.
Got you.
But yeah, no, it's like I always had that growing up, and he's just as passionate about basketball.
No, I feel like growing up with brothers, it just keeps you on edge when it comes to competition, you know?
Exactly.
Like whatever it is.
Yeah, there was a moment where basketball wasn't that big of a deal for me, or I didn't care about it that much. And then he was like starting to get like better than me, and I was like,
what it was.
I was like, I can't have that. I can't have that.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
So.
And what would you say your if you had to not even actually model your game, what would you say your game is like for comparing it to an NBA player? What would you say?
Damn, bro. Like, people are gonna be like, who does he think he is?
I mean, but still,
I mean, look, I'm not like I can hoop, but I'm like obviously like we're not. If I were to like, you know, I'm not obviously anywhere near like NBA standard or nothing like that, but I could probably beat you. Like I don't even know how you are, but yeah.
No, I mean I was just saying like a player like you would say that your game correlates with. Like, are you a shooter? Like Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Are you like a?
So I'm
like
definitely
a Kyrie that's going into the lane type shit.
I think like younger me, I think was more of like a Kyrie type of player, just, you know, driving in as much as I could, and but I've always been a shooter. I think, you know, shooting had always been. I think I played the guard position, so, you know, just I think going up against bigger guys, you always needed to, you know, be able to shoot. So that's always something that came natural to me.
Gotcha.
And, you know, my game is kind of around shooting. It's just like you know, like just be able to do both. I think like when you're a good shooter, like you have the opportunity to, You know what I mean? Like, you know, fake and then like drive, or you know what I mean, or like have the opportunity. And if you can, you know, drive and you know finish well, then you know then you have the opportunity to shoot. So it's like, you know, just playing off both of that. And you know, I actually love interacting with the team. You know what I mean? I love scoring, but I also love like setting up the plays properly. Like, you know, as I'm like, you know, driving towards, you know, the hoop, and like I see, you know, the big, you know, coming towards me. You know, like, you know, getting the ball off to my guy, like, at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's exciting, too. So it's like, yeah. I mean, bro, I take after my favorite players. Like, I love Kyrie, Steph, obviously. But, like, going back, I grew up in Seattle with, like, Ray Allen. So, like, obviously, like, shooting was always, like, a big part of, you know, my game. Because, you know, Ray Allen was, like, one of my favorite players. And, yeah, you know, obviously, big Kobe fan. So, you know. And he's good at everything.
Yeah,
so like,
Kobe. He's I don't know. I feel like he had a game where it's like he had every counter for everything.
Yeah,
like, you
bro.
do one move, oh, he slides there, boom.
Yeah,
you know.
R.I.P. to the greatest.
No, fact.
Who's your GOAT?
My GOAT. All right. I think Brown is the GOAT.
Shit. Okay.
And the only reason why I say that is just because if we look at it through football too, I feel like people would say Tom Brady's the GOAT, and that's because through the longevity and being able to consistently do what he does, right? I feel like Braun has that same, like, I guess, resume. You can say.
Yeah. Longevity wise, for sure.
But I don't know. I guess like it's all up for debate. Honestly.
No. I feel
you.
Like, I think just the idea of just being like, oh, this person is the greatest of all time is actually a new thing that came into questioning, like once like Braun was like was in the conversation of, yo, this guy's like giving off signs like you know he's a great one. You know what I mean? Like before that there was like, you know, like MJ and Kobe comparisons, and that's just what it was.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, no, it's interesting. I think they're all, you know, great in their own way. And I think nobody's wrong for their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people that say like Steph's the GOAT. You know, like there's you know, like they might not know about it. Like they that's what they know. You know what I'm saying? And Steph did change the game.
He did.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's chucking up threes now. You know, it's like, and you know, he's a reason for that. But yeah, me personally, bro, like Kobe's my GOAT just because of the timing of my life and seeing him play and like how he impacted me. And like I remember like really the first real like NBA you know, like championship that I registered was like, you know, the 2000 Lakers you know, like the finals with against the Pacers. You feel me? Like that was when I was like really like registering the NBA. So like just seeing Kobe do his thing at that time, it just kind of like I just like clung on to it. So Kobe's always been like one of my favorite players. But yeah, what's your team, by the way?
I mean, it should be Sonics, but they're not here. So it's just like I don't know. I mean, for basketball, I feel like I got players I fuck with. Like, you know, that like I'll be like, oh yeah, they're cool. But until Seattle comes back with a team, I feel like I can't really claim a team.
Yeah, no, that's literally exactly my answer. Like growing up, Sonics were always my team. You feel me? Like I was like a diehard Sonics fan, and when the Sonics left, it was like I just, you know, it's like I still love the NBA. But you know, I'm really just watching. I'm really just watching for competition. So I'm not like I'm never attached. You feel me? Like and it's like an interesting feeling to just not be attached to any team, but
and just enjoy the game.
You feel me? But yeah, there's a lot of players I fuck with, and there's like certain times like I want certain people to win, or I might make my decision on who I want to win once I've been watching the game. You know, like maybe like third quarter, fourth quarter, I'll decide. Just for myself mentally.
Like, oh, this Cuddy's shit. That person going off. That type of shit.
You be betting on games and shit?
Nah, but I feel like that's definitely like all my homies be doing it, but I'm like. I mean, I know sports, but it's just like, do I really care that much to bet? I'm like, fuck it. Got more other shit to do, but you be betting parlays and shit?
No, here and there, just like, you know what I mean, here and there. Like, it's not much though. It'll just be like, you know, like $10, like you know, $20.
You never know. That 10 or 20 could become like like 30 bays or something.
It just makes the game fun to watch. You know what I mean? Especially like if it's with the homies. And then one person is betting on one team. Exactly.
No, that's fun. And what would you say, because we're talking about MJ,
Mm.
Michael Jordan, Kobe, we're talking about GOAT discussions,
Yeah.
what, their resume and all that.
Yeah.
But at the end of your, let's say, we'll do it, let's talk about music. Or I guess overall, what do you want to be remembered as? I guess, like, it doesn't have to be specifically, I want to be remembered as an artist or a real estate, or,
Yeah.
But I guess, like, your overall message or, like, type of thing, type of vibe.
Yeah. Well, shoot. I mean, if I were to pass, and I hope it happens like a very long time from now.
Yeah.
But I hope that I'm looked at and remembered as someone who lived life to his truth, and consciously tried to positively impact as many people as possible.
Gotcha.
And I hope my family remembers me as someone that put them in a great position. And and as far as the specific goals and accomplishments that I want out of life, I mean, there's a lot of them, but I think as long as I stay true to just what it is, that's my truth, then I think I've lived a good life.
Got you.
Yeah.
And what would you say are some go-to, or not even go-to, some places you want to definitely travel to?
Man.
That you haven't went to. So.
Man, I still haven't been to Africa.
Got you.
So, I'd love to go. I'd love to go to Ethiopia. You feel me? I'd love to. There's just so many places, but just Ethiopia is somewhere that I really want to go to. I still haven't been to the Caribbean islands. You know what I mean? I'd love to go there.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't fully explored Europe yet. So there's so much of the world I haven't seen. I've gone to a lot of places.
So so aside from the places you want to go, what are some places you went to?
I just came back from. I spent a few days in Paris on my way back from the motherland.
Oh shit.
That was dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to, use the 3 years of French that I took in high school that I thought I still remember. But bro, by the time when I got there and tried, it was just like, bro, they speak it so fast.
It's like, oh shit, I need subtitles or something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, but it was funny though. I think it was interesting because when I was in Paris, I noticed that if you tried speaking a little bit of French, if you and you just at least initiated the conversation that way, they have more respect for you than someone that's just entitled, speaking to them in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I noticed most people over there, bro, speak English pretty well. At least in Paris, in the service industry and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's at least somebody that speaks English in the store.
Yeah.
It was a dope experience. Now I was in Dubai earlier this year. That was a cool experience too. That was my first time there.
Sure.
Bro, Dubai is it's crazy.
Fun.
The amount of wealth over there is just nuts. You know what I mean?
Just through the buildings and all that, or just
yeah, I mean just when you're just driving around that area, you just see for yourself. Even the Ubers and things are just Mercedes, Tesla, hella nice cars. You know what I'm saying? It's literally the safest place in the planet. You know what I'm saying? Just because the I guess the punishment for certain crimes are just so adverse that people just
don't do it.
You know what I mean? They don't. And yeah, bro, it's you walk into the mall and you just see people just walking with $30,000 worth of merchandise like it's nothing, just all over the place. You know what I mean? Bro, there's just so much wealth over there that it just makes you feel you got to get your game up. You know what I mean? It's just a place to go to motivate yourself. You
be
me?
damn, bro.
Yeah.
I need to be at a point where I can comp this whole route. Type of shit. But out of all the places that you visited, and the places you traveled to, what would you say is your top 5, or it doesn't even got to be top 5, just top cuisines to eat at, or different kinds of food?
Man, I gotta shout out, my own cuisine, food.
That's,
You feel me? Just because it's just we have the entire palette, whether you want, sweet or spicy or sour or somewhere in the middle, there's an amazing dish or meal or just delicacy that's there, that's gonna fill that palate or whatever craving you have. And then whether you're craving vegetarian or non-vegetarian, right, there's just hella options. And as far as the flavor goes, like I swear, like, you know, we're very specific about that, and we care deeply about flavor. And yeah, and if you like spicy, like shit, like, you know what I mean?
Go
It's
to town.
the go-to, yeah. So yeah, bro. No, I would have to shout out like Tamil food as just like the top contender. If there's like an option for me to like choose Tamil food, I probably would most times.
Gotcha.
But you know,
Dish wise though, what's
Huh?
your favorite dish?
my favorite dish,
Yeah,
man, that's like I don't even want to say that because it's just like my favorite cuisine. It
it's
doesn't.
too. It's just
yeah, it's just too. You know what I mean? There's just too
Gotcha.
much that it just depends on my mood, and it's like, you know, you can't say what's your favorite mood.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Mood's always changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I mean, outside of that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not really that like picky or particular, you know what I mean? Like when I go to Mexico, I love tacos over there.
Yeah.
Like but like having grown up in Seattle, I think, you know, there's enough immigrants and different cultures out here for me to have like grown up around all different kinds of cuisine.
Yeah.
You know, just being from here, that you know, like I feel like I grew up around great food. It's just not too much Tamil food outside of like my mom's kitchen that I, you know, grew up on.
It's a business idea right there.
You feel me? Yeah.
You never know.
It's happening.
Oh, for real? It's
Yeah,
already in the works?
It's in the works. Like, you know, the seeds have been planted.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I gotta be on the lookout for that. I'll be like, oh shit.
Bro.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, bro. The moment, you know, like, you know, Vozhi starts up, you know, some sort of like, you know, Tamil restaurant in Seattle, like, it's game over. But it's happening though. I really want to bring it to the city, and you know, I'm just casting it out there in the future. Whether I don't know if I'll be like, you know, like involved in the day-to-day operations, but I'd love to initiate something that, you know, turns into that. And I think it'd be huge for, you know, the culture. I think it'd be dope for, you know, people to experience, you know, the cuisine. And no, it's definitely something that's in the works for the future.
Got you.
Yeah.
And let's use a hypothetical situation for say for someone that was, or it could either be you, or it could be someone that's kind of like in the similar situation that you were in college. Say you're a freshman.
Yeah.
And to be able to explain like how to get to, like, let's say real estate specifically, what would you say the steps should be, or what route should they take in your opinion?
Like with the resources of the world right now.
Yeah, let's say, resources right now.
Yeah.
Like
So I mean, bro,
2023.
if someone's just like trying to get into real estate, shit, just literally go on a platform. You know, pick Instagram for instance. You can go on LinkedIn, do the same thing, but I think Instagram's just easier. Just, you know, type in, you know, Seattle real estate, or just search hashtag Seattle real estate, or whatever market you're in, real estate, and then just, you know, find who the content creators are, and just based off of the content and their profile, judge who you think are actual movers and shakers within the industry, and then, you know, DM them something that is a skill that you bring to them that could benefit their business, and say that you can do that for them and actually deliver on that, and then in return you're asking for knowledge. You know what I mean? If you're a young person, shit, like, just give up all your time and resources and, you know, ability for knowledge and, you know, details on how you can execute a business. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So just my advice would be, you know, go find a mentor. Gotcha. But yeah, do it the right way.
And speaking upon knowledge, and you said you do read books, so what would you say were some books that helped you in the real estate game or being an entrepreneur?
I know it's like a cheesy, like, classic book, but one of my favorite books of all time is like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
See, I don't even know that.
You don't even know that?
Shit,
Okay,
I might have to check that one out.
I'm gonna check that one out. Yeah, definitely. There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I'd recommend that to everybody. There's a really dope book called Go Giver. I'm forgetting the author's name, but that's a really dope book.
I think I heard that one before. That was a good book, though.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was, but I definitely heard the audiobook.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of books, bro. But I think, more importantly, I think we're living in a time where knowledge is just so accessible. You know what I mean? Like, we got ChatGPT. Yeah. You can literally, like, just by asking the right questions, you can come up with like a $1 billion business plan. Like, you know, I'm talking pages and pages of $1 billion business plan. You know what I mean? Like, literal, like, step by step, like, daily instructions on what to do. You can literally have AI generate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of being consistent with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And actually, like, following through. But yeah, no, I think I think it's like what we spoke about earlier, you know, like once you find what it is that you love, just increment on it daily.
Got you.
You feel me?
And what would you say when I guess, like, when did you know that you wanted to do the things you wanted to do? Like, I know you did say after the corporate, would you say it was, like, when you got the corporate job, like you said, you were in the gold handcuffs?
Yeah.
And then that's when you did, like, a lot of thinking, or was it, like, maybe, like, a lot of during that, like, process? Were you ever, like, thinking, oh, shit, maybe I should do something else?
Man, to be honest, I'm still thinking about what I want to do. You know what I mean? I think it's more refined from where I was previously, and I think my goals are a little bit more clear, and I think, you know, my goals are within, you know, branches of what I'm already doing. But, you know, I don't think that ever stops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think there's just, you know, certain people that just naturally, you know, have the DNA of just, you know, like, what can I do here in this situation, and how can I da-da-da-da. And then, you know, like, and then there's people that, you know, through, you know, situations in life demand demand themselves to, you know, like, be, you know, like, just figuring out what it is. But I guess for me, it was just, I was always just trying to, you know, figure out what my next step is. You feel me?
Gotcha.
And yeah, so it's like, and it was always like, all right, like, how can I elevate the current situation that I'm at based on the resources that I have in my life right now? I think if you, like, actually ask yourself that question and, like, you know, try to act on the answers that come to you, then I think you'll seek progress.
Yeah. I feel like people better listen to that one.
Yeah.
Just shit. Keep on doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you put in the work, you know, shit, you're gonna be in the position this person's at.
No, and I'm not even saying I'm like, you know.
Oh no, but it makes sense though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might have those thoughts that they know they have to do, but they never do it. You know? So, but the difference with you is you think it, you do it. Now, you know.
Yeah. No, bro. Like,
put into play.
Like, you know, thoughts are the ancestors to all things material. You feel me? Like, literally everything you see started off as a thought first.
Yeah.
Like, most, you know what I mean? Like, even certain trees, just because someone thought to put a tree over there, like, in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but like, if you can think about, you know, your life that way, like, and you can actually take ownership, like, all right, like, the positioning that I'm at right now, in some way, shape, or form, I contributed to it. And obviously, you know, like, you can't say that's, like, true for every situation. There's just certain people that are just born in, you know, tough situations that they can't, you know, that's just difficult. But, you know, it's just a consistent theme in life, the way it is, the way we live right now, right? And it's like, whether you like it or not, right? Victimizing yourself doesn't help.
Yeah.
You feel me? So once you can, like, empower yourself to realize that you have the opportunity to change your life, and, you know, you're gifted to live in this time that allows you to have all the steps on what you can do to improve your life, then why wouldn't you just follow those steps?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Like, and just talking about, you know, taking steps and getting closer to goals and all that.
Yeah.
I try to make a recurring segment. Basically, kind of, what day does it say? It is November 22nd. So, I try to make it where it's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
You can listen to this whenever you want, type of thing. So, by November 22nd, 2024, what are some goals that you got for yourself? Either financially, business-wise, mentally, physically, hooping, music, all this shit. Like, what would you say you want to accomplish by next year? And this is just for you to listen back to, just to be like, oh, shit, did I do that? Okay, maybe I did that. Oh, shit. You know, just, you know, kind of like a checkpoint.
Yeah. I think there's, like, certain, like, you know, relationship goals that I have, you know, like, in the personal, you know, field of my life, right? That, you know, I got. But outside of that, right, 2024, shit, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have, you know, developed some of the properties that I'm working on right now. Like, you know, like be in that position. I want to, you know, have the operations of my business be a lot more automated, but at the same time, you know, being able to produce, you know, like, the same amount that I'm doing right now with me being all hands on.
Yeah.
And musically, I want to, you know, put out at least a couple, you know, 2 to 3 solid, you know, releases with music videos, and you know, just put out as much music as possible. But as far as it goes, like 3 major releases, you know, by November of 2024, yeah, and then community wise, there's an event series that I'm actually that I founded with a group called the Up and Up, based out of Seattle. Are you familiar with the Up and Up? Okay, they're like a you know, like a podcast group / you know, media company.
Gotcha.
You know, where they're, you know, like empowering stories of, you know, Seattle-based entrepreneurs, creatives, and professionals.
Gotcha.
And you know, through them, I have this event series called "The World Is Yours," where we bring together entrepreneurs and creators in the greater Seattle area, and, you know, put them through you know, very specific workshop to empower them to, you know, take their journeys to the next level.
Gotcha.
So this is something that I've just been doing since 2019, like you know, basically like once a month, damn near. Especially the last, you know, almost a couple years. And you know, 2024, the goal is to, you know, tie up this event series with some more credible organizations.
Gotcha.
and just make it more streamlined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the big goals that I got.
Yeah, I feel like they're good goals though.
Yeah, no, and I think everything else that comes in the middle or comes along the path of these goals being accomplished, you know what I mean? You never know what's gonna happen.
That is true. It's
Yeah.
just beginning of the seed.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna grow into.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. I mean, probably gonna wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, where could they find you on Instagram, TikTok, all that?
Yes, sir. I'm Vozhi everywhere. That's VOZHI. Shit, you know what I mean? Follow the journey.
No, it's good. I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you again, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, boss.
That's good. Shit. Make sure you guys tune in.
Yes, sir.
Shit, this Sunday. I mean, at this point, shit. New podcast every Sunday. Dropping 8 a.m. Make sure you guys tune in. If you guys don't know, make sure you tap in with them. Shit.
Let's get it.
Catch you guys. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. Solid conversation.